First of all, my name is Dolma Yangchen, and I've been the president of Tibetan Women's Association Central for the past 4 years. And Tibetan Women's Association was founded in Tibet, in Lhasa, in 1959, on the 12th of March. And after coming into exile, we re-established the organization in India, in Dharamshala, in 1984, 10th of September. Yes, if we talk about women's equal participation in the Tibetan community in exile, women to a certain extent are participating in every field, whatever it may be, whether it's education field or business field or farming, and in many other ways. So women are equally participate in the society to build the economy of the society. If we talk about women's participation in economy, Tibetan women are very, very active and participative in building the economy of their family as well as the society. Because, for example, if she is the farming category, she works side by side along with her male counterparts. Then you come to the business section, wherever you go, whether it's a shop or, a group of Tibetan people who are doing business outside their own, settlement. Women are, taking more interest and participating in doing the business and making a very good profit of the business, whatever they are running. So they are working more, above the men's participation than, their own. And then when we are talking about political field also, now in exile we have to a certain extent high level of participation of Tibetan women in the parliament, in the administration, even in the NGOs. So the women are doing very well, to speak about the equal rights and whatever the participation of women in the society or building economy. So that is how our Tibetan women are, coming up. See, in exile, Tibetan women at a different level, they have a different types of difficulties. Say, for example, educated younger generation, they have the qualification, and they can, compete the opposite sex. But at the same time, being a woman, she has got more responsibilities at home. So when she gets a good job, she's tended to, to take up the job. But then there's a problem when she has to be transferred to some other location. Then that means she has to give up her family responsibilities and to take up that job if she wants. Financially, she needs that job, she has to go. But at the same time, when she goes to another place, her older family members, parents, then young school-going children, they are being neglected. Of course, her husband will be there, but husbands are husbands. Maybe they are earning members. They say bread, like a winner. But these days it's quite different. What women are doing from morning till night is much more tougher and challenging than what a man of the house is doing. So that is a very, very, a major difficulty, I can say about the women in exile, because you cannot stay at home without taking up a job because of the financial problems to bring up the children, their education, and she has to take up job. At the same time, when these type of transfer and things like that, she is torn between the two. Okay, and then challenges, but most of the women, they try to face the challenge, okay, the husband, you take care of the family for the time being, and then she goes for her posting. Then every now and then, whenever there's a leave, she comes back again to the family. Otherwise, try to put the children into the boarding school. So women has more, challenges than men in the present situation. Yeah. Okay, if we talk about domestic violence, maybe the present trend is better than, old system. In olden days, men feels that he's the boss of the house, and the women were, mostly kept at home, looking after children and things like that. And for small things, men raise their, voice, and they raise their hands and things like that. But now the situation is completely changed. He has to think before he does anything. So, in the normal educated sort of a society, in our exiled community, I mean, younger generation, they are more, like tolerant when it comes to raising hands. But then older people have got that old habit of, raising hands and raising voice against the, women. When on small, slight, like what you call it, misunderstandings or whatever it is there. So overall, the violence against women is not that much in Tibetan community in exile. It's much better now, but we cannot erase it. It's still there. Here and there we get information. So I mean, to a certain extent, you can say we can overlook compared to what it used to be. Yeah. Yeah, now we are in the 21st century. So in exile, Tibetan women are more, like aware, uh, and they know whether they fall into the category of, women who really enjoys the, women's rights. So in Tibetan society in exile, I think women has got more or less equal rights. It all depends when we say equal rights, how one utilizes that right. So we have no restriction when it comes to getting a job also. You have to sit for the test and things like that. And if you do well, you get that job. In any other field, even in the business also. So women do have a say, you can say that they have a equal rights, because we are enjoying a democracy. So that means women have got the full, sort of equal rights in the society if she uses her opportunity. Yeah. If she sits back, then she can't talk about the rights. Yes. Right now we talked about equal rights, women, equal rights with the men. But when we have, like establishments everywhere in different parts of the world, uh, sometimes, although women are treated equally, but there is a time when, if there's any meeting or any sort of a big gathering, the older generation, say men, if a woman raises her voice, suggests anything, or opens up her opinion about some matter, then men feels that, oh, she's a woman, so whatever she says is nothing, there's no value in that. So they tend to, not to listen to her properly. So that means we talk about women's right and equal rights and things like that. That means they are not respecting women's right. She doesn't have the equal, they don't value her, view. So that I feel, sometimes when we try to observe during a meeting or things like that, normally, women who are not used to, facing public and talking like that, but sometimes even in a village also, when the meeting is there, they try to, because of their own anxiety, they try to raise some points. But then the men who are in the meeting, they don't pay attention. So, it's a woman's voice, so that's not important. So that type of thing I do observe, and I feel that, there should be some, change in that. They should listen whether they really, sort of accept her views or not, but their duty is to listen to her, what she has to say. So these type of things, I feel that, there should be little more changes in that.